and Senator Jones and Senator Bieda.
Well, as a longtime pet lover and pet owner, I want to thank you. This is a real special honor to me. I've been a big supporter of animal humane legislation, and I'm looking forward to go to bill signing on the bills that we just talked about on the dog fighting. There's a lot of other work that we're working on. I know Senator Jones and myself have passed bills on puppy mill legislation. That the incident in R-Allegan County was brought to the attention, so we're hoping to have some movement on that. But I think we're always looking for those opportunities to make this world a little bit better place. Sometimes to those that have no voice, that need a voice in the legislature, we're very proud to be that voice. So thank you so much for this magnificent honor, and I'll cede the floor to my good friend and colleague, Senator Jones.
Well, thank you. As Senator Bieda said, we're working on a lot of other issues. Not only the puppy mills, that was my district. R-Allegan County is part of my district, District 24, where they found 350 dogs in one house. It's now up to 380 because many were having babies. They had to be dispersed all over the state to other humane shelters because there simply wasn't room in R-Allegan County. It's outrageous. These two people will be charged with abuse, but it never should have happened. And if they simply had been inspected once, they would have been shut down. In addition, I continue to push to get rid of the doggy and cat gas chambers. We still have some of those in the state. And both of these senators here helped me stop the invasive species, the pigs, wild pigs that were being brought in, put into pens for honey. They escape and they're destroying Michigan agriculture. So both of these senators here today helped me stop that. So appreciate their help.
I appreciate you all being here today. I've gotten a few awards in my brief time here in the legislature, and none is probably more special than this. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And I had the kind of parents that if I could put my hands on an animal and get it home, that they would let me keep it home. So I've had them all. And animals hold a really special place in my heart. I was always told that how you treat animals says a lot about how you would treat human beings. And animals, you know, they're strange creatures because their loyalty exists in spite of cruelty in a lot of ways. And so, you know, some of the best days that I've had in dealing with people and then going home to an animal is that the dog greets me, you know, in an unconditional way. And so this was really a pleasure to work on and to try to see it enacted. I live in the city of Detroit, and as you can imagine, a lot of these travesties really do occur in some of your large big cities, but it's more than just the money, and I appreciate the testimony on that. That's real, but this is really a cultural issue as well. You know, people have been fighting animals, you know, as far back as this country has really been founded. And so to the extent that we're in a position as lawmakers to try to assuage some of that cruelty and that tragedy, I'm happy to be a part of it. So God bless you all. We got a lot of work to do, and we appreciate your support.
And every other state director knows that. Oh, there's Bill again from Michigan. California and New York, that's about it. That's ahead of us. Massachusetts. Anyway, I'm just going to scream through these real quick because they're in your talking points, and they're mostly things that you're not going to get to when you're talking, but it's all on our website too. What I recommend is just visiting MichigandersForShelteredPets.org. That is a coalition of rescues and organizations and individuals here in Michigan who've got together to work on legislation to protect shelter pets, namely ending gas chamber euthanasia and also pound seizure in the state. It's a whole long and not very pretty story of what happened with our pound seizure bill. I'll be happy to explain it later, but we're going to have to address that in the next session. But that website has a lot more information. Also very exciting news is that you might have heard a story about a dog named Daniel, a beagle, who was in an Alabama animal control shelter last year, I think it was, Holly, maybe? No, it must have been the year before last, because they had banned it by last year. But they put him into the gas chamber along with other dogs, turned on the gas, and when the shelter worker came back and opened the door, there was Daniel still breathing, still alive. So something just told that shelter worker that this was a dog he just wanted to save. So Daniel eventually ended up, there was of course a lot of news stories about him, and he ended up being adopted by a gentleman in New Jersey who does motivational speaking on his own, I think. So he and his person have taken it upon themselves to tour the country speaking about the need to end gas chamber euthanasia. And so Daniel, there's some stories, he was on ABC News and some other news stories. He will be coming here to Michigan on May 10th and 11th. On May 10th at 9 a.m., we'll be doing a press conference on the front steps of the Capitol. Everybody's welcome to come and join in there, where Senators Jones and Bieda will be there to speak about this legislation. And then the next night, Danny will be at MSU. And there's more information on the website, michiganersforshelterpets.org. You can find more details about that. So thank you, Mitch, for getting us the room at MSU. And Holly, was there anything else we needed to say about
we are doing a silent auction. If anybody's interested in donating to help with the silent auction for the Friday, May 11th, you can get a hold of me on Michiganders for Shelter Pets. The doors open at 5 p.m. We're hoping for a big crowd. We're hoping to get a lot of media attention to get Grantsville's movie. Okay. So just get in touch with me if you have anybody who would like to help.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm so excited about that. So just real quickly, a couple of other legislative issues. We already talked about the animal fighting bill. So like I said, we're just waiting for that final vote on the House floor. They've been in spring break for the past 2 weeks. They're just starting back today. We're hoping soon those things will get passed and get signed by the governor. But the other piece of legislation that you'll see in your packet is SB 421. Surprise, who wants to guess? Senator Bieda.
I love Senator Bieda.
Yes, I know. Basically, if any of you have pets or have worked with animals, know antifreeze has a sweet taste that's very attractive to animals. Unfortunately, that is also extremely toxic and can kill them very quickly. So if there's any spilled on the garage floor or whatever, animals will lick that up and become poisoned and die. So we have introduced legislation to require that a bitter tasting chemical be added to antifreeze to make it unpalatable, so animals are not so likely to want to drink it. 17 states now have already passed such legislation with very little opposition in each of those states. Midwestern states, including Wisconsin and Illinois, have passed it. So in your packets are fact sheets about it, but it's pretty basic. And it was introduced last spring and awaiting their first hearing in Senate Economic Development Committee. So we haven't heard much from them since.
Are you familiar at all? I know there's a bill that's potentially being proposed about an offender list.
Registry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not our issue. I think it was for the Animal Legal Defense Fund or another organization that we're not really taking a position on that at this time. Okay. So as far as I know, Harvey Santana introduced that. I don't think it's gotten a hearing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the animal fighting bills we don't have to talk about today, really, because, like I said, they're just waiting for that final vote. Just some other things that you can do. Go to our website, humanesociety.org, sign up for action alerts. I have a Facebook page, HSUS Michigan Facebook page. I update it constantly with things going on in Michigan and around the country. Voiceless, joined their website as well. Voiceless Michigan is a great rescue here. And Michiganders for Shelter Pets. Just check in on what's going on. Volunteer, of course, and most of you already do. Volunteer work with animal shelters or rescues. And you can volunteer with the Humane Society of the United States too, just humanesociety.org/volunteer. So, and if you really enjoy doing this sort of thing, you might want to have your head checked, but if you do really enjoy it, and you want to try it at the federal level, and it's not hot enough for you here, you're thinking, gosh, DC in July sounds really attractive, in a suit, you know, and then blocks like 10 miles long, the city blocks for some reason, and you're just like, I'm going to die here. We have a conference, Taking Action for Animals, every summer. And it's a great conference, 2 days of really inspiring speakers and information. And then that Monday, we all go to Capitol Hill and lobby on federal legislation, such as our bills to prevent horse slaughter and protect chimpanzees in laboratories, etc. So, and there's even a federal puppy mill bill that would require all private breeders that sell a certain amount of animals to also be inspected by the USDA, in addition to those the USDA licensed commercial breeders. So. That's us, Christina back there, and a bunch of folks from GVSU came out, and that was another year I got to do this to all the other state directors. I had more people from Michigan that year than California had or New York had, so Michigan really stands out as far as animal advocacy. So yeah, just check that out on our website. Okay, now the legislative appointment forms. I'm just going to go over these real quick. I use Pam because she doesn't mind me embarrassing her all the time anyway. So you'll see, okay, it's got your name of your senator and your representative there. Please note that these aren't necessarily in order, so your first meeting might be the one on the bottom of the page. At the meeting time, if it's left blank, that's because despite my calls and emails, they did not